Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sabbath day to everyone out there. I hope all is well with y'all. I just want to get on here and just to talk and encourage, enlighten some people that may be going through some spiritual warfare and they may not be, coping with it, you know, like they would like to be, or they may feel like they out there all by themselves. And I just wanted to let them know that they're not alone, you know. Like I jokingly said in the previous post about no one telling me about the warfare. I actually meant that. I really had no idea that once I accepted the call that this warfare would be as intense as it is. And I just wanted to share with some people, out there that you're not alone. It's crazy out here in this wicked, evil world we live in. This post is for informational purposes only, and is meant to enlighten and encourage. Like I mentioned earlier, wanted to give a disclaimer or just to give a heads up to people out there, specifically women. In Romans, it mentions how because the men didn't, choose to accept, Yahuwah's commandments or his teachings, or just reject him entirely, that he turned them over to shameful lust, uh, to uh, to lust after the same sex as they would a women. These men prior to that were the typical heterosexual men, and over their rejection of Yahuwah and Yahusha, that Yahuwah said in his word that he's going to turn them over to a lie, reprobate minds to shameful lust. And I just want to let you know that this is so real. And I know a lot of people out there, as it pertains to this and other things, you all got this mentality where it can't happen to me, or not my husband, not my boyfriend. And I'm here to tell you, in fact, it just might be your husband, your boyfriend, your brother, your son, and the like. I'm just letting you know, as a person that came out of that lifestyle of homosexuality and reading Yahuwah's word, it is so true. I'm telling you, like 90% of the men that used to holler and hit on me would be heterosexual men that are married, men that have girlfriends, gay men that are married to men, gay men that have boyfriends. This is the world that we live in, that these are the people that would try to shoot their shots and holler and stuff like that. I know one post, probably a year ago, someone mentioned about the dating pool. They were talking specifically about Atlanta, but it's all over, how the dating pool is just so messed up and this and the third. And I know I commented, I said, well, if we can get the married men, the men and women that's supposed to be in committed relationships out of the pool, maybe we gotta clean the pool up. Because right now it's feces in the pool. And someone commented to me, because this was on Facebook. They knew I'm from DC. But take your behind back to DC. Da, 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 da. I said, well, hit dog will holler. But I didn't state anything wrong. It's a lot of so-called people in committed relationships now that be trying to holler at either other married people or single people. I remember this one joker on Facebook that we were friends, and they had post a post. This, I forgot the year. It may have been 3-4 years ago, probably 3. They posted a post in July of this year. They had married. This is a gay man married to a man, married, all the wedding pictures, all this, that, and the third. 90 days, October. They're in my inbox talking about what their mouth do. All this kind of craziness. They beat me to it because after I responded to them, you just married. What are you doing? Da, da, da. They unfriended me, blocked me, and all that, But I'm just letting you know, it's so real out here. Back in the day, when I used to get accosted or approached or hit on by these heterosexual men, be it single or married, I I thought it was just me. I said, well, maybe deep down inside, I must have feelings for them, attracted to them. But I found out over the years that it wasn't me. In fact, they actually were hitting on me. A little about me, far as it pertains to dating. Certain people, men or whatever, when I was in the like lifestyle and dating, if you worked with me, if you worked in my building or worked in my, a part of my group I worked, if you went to my church, if we were friends, acquaintances, whatever, you were off limits to me. I viewed you like you was my cousin or my sibling. Like I wasn't trying to holler at you, date you, or nothing like that. You could have been attractive, but I looked at that as being off limits because in my mind I'm like, what if we have a falling out? Now I got to see you behind at work. You could be my boss, my coworker. Now I got to see you at work, and we done fell out. I got to see you at church. You know what I'm saying? We live in the same neighborhood. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to take those chances. So those persons was off limit to me. So the spiritual warfare that I've been recently, the attacks that I've been recently getting, I mean, it's been crazy. And it's been these two people. Now, out of all the people in the world, Satan is attacking, tormenting me with these two individuals. All right. One of them I've known since 2009. We actually were stationed together, worked together, when I was in Virginia at Fort Lee. And I recall, I've always been this servant. I have many gifts. One of them is cooking, and this time I'm a senior NCO, so I have a lot of people that work under me, or maybe not working for me directly, but they're under me, as far as in rank or whatnot, and they work in my building. So a lot of times, just out the blue, the spirit would, Ruach HaKodesh would say, cook for the people today. So then I have my briefings and I'd be like, y'all ain't got to worry about lunch. I got y'all covered. I made some food, whatever. So I would do stuff like that, just spontaneously a lot. And I recall this one time, this joker here, at the time they was married with two little young children. And they was like, you cook good, better than my wife. Blah, blah, blah. I'm coming over to your house to eat dinner tonight. I'm like, okay. Because I want to say it was like I had leftovers from what I brought to work for lunch that day. It was something like that. So then they worked a different shift than I did. So like I got off like 4:30. They came in at 1 and got off at 10 at night. So, but they do, they take a lunch, a dinner, all that. So during their dinner break, they came to my house. Straight person, all that. But I felt that spirit, like that homosexuality spirit, but I was denying it, but I still felt it. You know what I'm saying? But I had denied it. And then I recall a couple times they wanted to go to church with me because, of course, I was into Christianity at the time. So they went to church with me a couple times, but then it kind of like died down. I guess they felt like, okay, he not trying to do this, whatever. So let me back off. Okay. That's one person. Then I'm going to get back to that person. Then another person who, a friend of mine, not a coworker, but a friend of mine, I know the family, that kind of thing, whatever. And then this person here, now it was a little bit more recent than back in 2009. This person, now when I got out the military, I fell off as far as physical fitness. I just really got real serious about it. Off and on, I've been out in the military 6 years. Off and on, I would work out whatever and I would fall off. But this year, I really got back serious with my fitness, right? So this happened first time it happened was like, I think either last year or 2 years ago. This friend of mine who's married with 3 kids and all of that, right? And they know this friend here knows my background. And, I was actually living in the sin in homosexuality at the time. And they knew this and was cool with me. And we had a lot of mutual friends and they all was cool with me and knew my background, right? So this person here was offering to be my, if you will, my coach or my fitness trainer. And there would be times where they would be flexing, like showing me different muscles as far as in their chest and arm, like the muscle groups and all that. And so this is them, shooting a shot in a subtle way, showing me flexing and all that. But then they took it to another degree higher. They would literally have me touching these muscles on their arms and chest. I'm talking about wanting me to put my hand in their shirt, on their arm, like, like literally, yeah, like putting my hand in, like touching their chest. And what straight man would have a known gay man to do this to them like that? This them shooting this shot. So this initially happened back like a year and a half, 2 years ago. And then, mind you, I had my awakening this year in April. So it happened again. I started back this year, like I said, working out and stuff like that. And me and this person actually started working out together, going to the gym and stuff. So they tried it again, same thing. And this happened probably back in February, And it got to the point where we have mutual friends and we were on an outing. And I remember in the outing, out the blue, because, this person here used to talk to me about how they was having difficulties in their marriage or whatever, which most marriages do, relationships do. And I recall them telling me how, how they got to ask and beg for, relations from their spouse. And they shouldn't have to go through all of that because that's the spouse or whatever. So this is them having talks with me. Mind you, they know my background. They know the lifestyle I'm living, all this, whatever. So I remember we were on an outing. And there was like, probably 8 of us, whatever. It was at the outing, I think there was probably like 12 of us all together. But then we were outside because at this particular spot, you had to valet your vehicles. So there may have been like 4 or 5 of us out there getting our vehicles. And I don't know how this came up, but this person out the blue, because this person was wanting, after this event, right? They wiped out all of that. These people know my background. This person was saying, Jay, let me hang out with you. Me and you can go to Bulldogs. They know Bulldogs is a gay club. But then this is how they spend it. Because if you don't know, a lot of women, they like to go out and have fun and dance and all that, but they don't want the whole, all these guys hitting on them, whatever, all this kids like that. So some women will actually go to gay clubs to have a good time. They knowing these gay men aren't going to be hitting on them, whatever. So I guess straight men, the straight men are hip to that, So they be trying to holler. But a lot of times, too, they use that as a way of getting to these gay men. It's like a little, like, DL little thing they do or whatever. So he threw that out there. He said, yeah, because I know to find the women be up in there. I know they be up in there. Let's go in there and holler at the women. Or not holler, he's married. So I'm assuming him and his wife got an open relationship, or because he literally said that, because I know the women be in there. And I'm like, nah, I'm not, I'm not doing that, whatever. So they said that. And then another thing too, they said in front of a group, man, all this going on, I just might as well be gay. I don't know, that was supposed to be an indicator for me to shoot my shot, because one thing about DL men, they gonna shoot their shot suddenly, but if you don't bite, then they gonna back off. They ain't gonna be, they not real persistent. Some might be, but so that's that scenario. Now back to the first guy. So when I had my awakening in April, mind you, over the years, they left for Lee, I left for Lee, whatever, but we still was friends on social media. Not a whole lot of interaction, but we still was friends on there. But when they seen, I had my awakening, I'm doing all these posts, whatever, they hit me up. And, one thing about us, or one thing about me in particular, when I had my awakening, a tactic of the enemy, he had my family to isolate me. Now, of course, I've been in isolation on my own for Yahuwah, for Yahusha, but this is when I had my awakening, and I really wanted, the support from family and this and the third. It was a lot going on during my awakening, and I was isolated. My siblings, my mom, like, it was like nobody wanted to talk to me or nothing like that. But that one friend from back in the day that I used to work with, he's retired, I'm retired. He hit me up. Mind you, he proclaims to be a Christian, he's a preacher and all this, whatever. So he hit me up. And so now he's the one person that's communicating and talking with me. And, of course, I'm opening up to him and all that. Little did I know that this dude was a narcissist. All the signs was there. And during the moment, during the height of it, I just didn't notice it until after the fact. So what this dude was doing, if you know anything about narcissism, I want y'all to go do some homework and look it up. He was doing the whole love bombing, you know. I have multiple platforms, 5 or whatever, and let's say I would post the same post on all the platforms. This joker, he going to all the platforms, liking, da-da-da. It was just a lot of love bombing. And he wasn't necessarily one to call, but he loved to FaceTime. So we FaceTime like, 3 times a day, 4 times a day. It was almost like we was going together. It was crazy. But I started getting those feelings, about the homosexuality and stuff like that. So then I remember one time he was supposed to come to spend the weekend with me, right? So I remember that Wednesday, I prayed to Yahusha, and I'm like, Yahusha, I'm getting these feelings, I'm trying to live this life for Christ, walk this walk, and I getting these feels from this dude. I said, if this not meant to be, if he's not meant to be my friend or whatever, please don't let this interaction, this meeting take place on the weekend, please, sir. Mind you, I'm telling you, we FaceTime 3, 4 times a day. They always liked all my posts, When I prayed that prayer on that Wednesday, on Thursday, that joker called me, Jay, I had to cancel, my plans for coming there this weekend. I ain't gonna be there. Cause let me hold on to that Wednesday after I prayed that prayer, I called him. So, keep in mind, it's supposed to be him coming. So me to kind of throw some salt in the game, a monkey wrench, I was like, so when you come this weekend, or y'all, what kind of food you and your kids like? You know what I'm saying? Cause I'm a cook for y'all. Because he know me from cooking back in the day. So I guess in his mind, he's like, oh, he thinking I'm bringing my kids with me. Because he's a single parent now, and he's raising two teenagers. So he was like, we like spaghetti, da, 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 da. And so that Thursday, he called, well, the plans have changed. I ain't going to be able to make it, da, da, da. Because, I told him, I'm looking for him to bring his family, not just him. When I told you, when that happened, I prayed that prayer Wednesday. He called me Thursday. And I called him Wednesday too about the whole with your kids, whatever. All the FaceTime stopped. He stopped interacting with me on all social platforms. One liking nothing, one looking at nothing. All that stopped. It ceased. Now we 3 weeks in, and I'm missing my friend. Now, after I went through all that, I done prayed, but I'm still missing the interaction with him because no one's talking to me. People are isolating me, family, friends, everybody, right? I messed around and hit him back up. It's like I reignited everything. He started back liking my posts, all that, whatever. But what happened was the FaceTiming, it started getting weird. It started getting later. It's throughout the day too, but now it started getting more, even later. And then he started asking crazy questions. You're a preacher and all this, but you're like asking me, so do you pray? You've been seeing my posts. You a preacher. I pray. I'm like, yeah, I pray. Asking me, well, what do you pray about? I thought I was weird. So I answered him with a real blatant. I was like, oh, I pray about people, places, and things. That's all I said to him. Then he was like, do you speak in tongues? Like, this is so weird, right? All right. And then, Maya, I told you the FaceTiming was getting weird. Like, now you're FaceTiming in the day, but now you're FaceTiming me at 11:30 at night, 2:30 in the morning. Like, just waking me up out my sleep, and you want to have a full-blown like, you forget I'm sleepy. I'm asleep. You just boom, almost like, you my ninja. You supposed to, answer the phone when I call, and we can, like, that's how I was getting from this person, right? So with this person here, mind you, I'm open about what's going on. They see my post, all that. So then they FaceTime me this one particular morning. I looked at the clock. It's like 2:30, 2:20. So, they want to have a Bible study. We all, now I'm woke. I'm all interacting with them on FaceTime, scriptures. They got their Bible, I got mine, da, 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 da. And something weird happened. The lights went off on their end a couple of times. Now, I know people are paused to FaceTime and all that, but that wasn't it. It was as if like he turned the lampshade off for maybe like 6 or 8 seconds and turned it back on. That happened twice throughout the FaceTiming. I'm telling you, out the blue, when I say I got so hot, I got hot like a woman doing her, her change of life. I reached and found some paper. I started fanning myself. I mean, I was hot. I got up. I got the fan. I have this tower fan. I put it like 5 feet in front of me. I was like, why am I so dang on hot? I was like, woo, woo. Remember the scripture, the weapon will form, but it won't prosper. So I didn't know this at the moment, but this was the weapon forming, but it wasn't prospering like they thought it would. So then now it's like 4 o'clock, 4:15. He like, oh, well, tomorrow the first day of school, let me get up. My kids got to get out of here, da, 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 da. So they hung up. Keep in mind, I'm thinking like, well, shoot, why call me at 2:30 when you got to get up like that? But anyway, when we disconnected that call, when I tell you, I didn't know what was going on. I got so sleepy. It wasn't even regular sleep. It was like I felt like someone gave me a Mickey. Someone had drugged me. It was so weird. And I passed out. I literally passed out at like 4:15 in the morning. I woke up at like 7:30, 7:45 in the morning. This like 3 hours had them passed by, whatever. I was not expecting what I thought was a dream was not a dream at all. I can't really describe to you what it was. But I'm just gonna tell it to you how it played out with me. It was like I had intercourse with this dude, and it seemed too real. I'm not a saint. I have a past. I've been sexually active, whatever. So I know the feels. I know. It literally felt like at 7:30 that morning, this joker just had got up off of me. Like it was so real, and I didn't understand what was going on. And instead of like, how when you have a dream and you remember the dream, but with me, it was like I was remembering a memory. Like this actually happened. It seemed too real, dude. I felt dirty. I was like, what? Mind you, I never look at coworkers, friends, all this like that. So for me to have experienced that, it was where I was like, and then it was like the demonic presence. It was in my mind, whatever, wanted me to look at porn right then, wanted me to do right then to relieve myself, all this whatever going on, which it happened. And before I was gonna take a shower, I went and I prayed. I prayed to the Most High. I'm like, the Most High, what's going on with me? I don't know why this happened. Did this guy do something to me? Can you please reveal what happened, please? Because it was, man, when I tell you, he answered me in like 5-10 minutes. Bruh, apparently, back when they was like asking them crazy questions about do I pray and what I pray about, I speak tongues. Apparently, at that time, they had some witchcraft, black magic stuff put on me, but it wasn't manifesting. And I'm guessing they want to know why. So that's where all the crazy questions was coming from. But then this early morning phone call thing, when I was getting hot or whatever, that's what that was. And when I prayed that prayer, the Most High showed me all that this person was doing this, they've been doing this on you, trying to get, sex magic and love, this, all that. So, man, I broke down in that bathroom at that shower. I'm all on the floor crying and crying. I'm like, this was my friend. This is why I confided in. How could they do this? I was, so I blocked them on all social platforms. I blocked them on WhatsApp. I blocked them in my set. Everything right. I'm like, oh my goodness. This joker, now, if you know anything about narcissism, they did the love bombing. They did the whole the trauma bond. Now they doing the hoovering. This joker started writing me letters. Writing letters. I'm like, them letters didn't even make it in my house. I would throw them in the trash outside in the dumpster. This joker created another account on Facebook. Now they messaging me on Facebook. You know, I had to block that one. I'm like, what? So now, the last couple of months, all of September and this month here, the spiritual attacks from these two people have been so intense. It's like torture. These vivid dreams and fantasy thoughts of me being intimate with these two individuals. If it ain't this person, it's that person. I mean, and it's always these two. And I was told, or I had learned through, me, being on YouTube and all that, that it's as if these people are still trying to manifest those relations to happen. That's why it's so intense, and that's why it's with just these two people. So when I say that the warfare is warring, that it's intense, it is crazy. So I seek the Most High's face, Yahuwah's face, Yahusha, and I just pray. I rebuke the thoughts. I rebuke. It's like, what in the world? Satan's like, trying different tactics to get me, and he's using like these two is really, 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 and it's like. So I share this just to be transparent and to encourage and to enlighten, the masses that, it's happening everywhere. And when you accept the call, when you start to follow the Most High, Yahuwah, for real, that the warfare, the spiritual attacks, they don't just stop. Whatever warfare, spiritual attacks you was going through prior to accepting it, it magnifies. I'm talking about like by 10, by 100. So you just got to stay in the fight, you know what I'm saying? And just, what it said, the race was not given to the swift nor the strong, but the one that endures. And, I had this false reality that when I accepted the call and the walk, like, not that the warfare and the temptation and all that would stop, but it just would get easier. And when I used to get, when I was getting tempted and all this, whatever, I thought it was me. I used to beat myself up as if Satan don't have a job too. Like he ain't gonna be out here trying to win me back and get me. You back on that side. I mean, I used to beat myself up because of the temptation. Like it was crazy, right? But I've since changed and everything. But yeah, I just shared this to hopefully help someone, enlighten someone, encourage someone, to stay in the fight. It's going to get better over time and just keep fighting, All right? Y'all have a good rest of your day.